Wow, it's good to have each one of us here. Karibuni sana manze. I can see you, Joseph Muliungi. It's good to have you here. Blacks, it's good to have you here. Nilikuwa nimecheki wasi wengine hapo. It's good to have you. Each one of you, manze. Right, I'm back. But it's good to have all of us here. Yes, I was bigging up the people I can see here. We are good, we are good, we are good. I see all of you here. Now, today we'll be looking at amazing things. I have amazing facilitators with me. I have amazing things that we will be looking at today. And why we are here is because as young adults, we realize that there is so many things that happen to us, manze. Na tunataka kupelekana na rada au sio? So whether internet fails us, whether gadget fails us, we are not going to stop at anything. We will keep going until the last minute. We will be here for the next 40 minutes or so, and this is going to be so much fun. So kwanza, let me introduce my panel. Wako na mimi hapa hivi. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for Pastor Hula. All right. Let's also appreciate Pastor Nduati. There we go, there we go. We also have Pastor Zeph, who will also be our guest tonight, this afternoon, and I'll be interviewing him. Nijue kunaendaje pande yake. But I don't know whether there is anyone here who's ever been in a VIP lounge. Yani, ushikwa kwa VIP lounge, na inakuagaje? Let me know, let me know, let me know. So tunaanza, and by the way, ndakuwa nauliza maswali so ukaerada. All right? So let me start by asking Pastor Hula, but before we get to Pastor Hula, allow me to say a prayer. Lord, we are glad that you invited us here. We are glad that we can do this. We are glad that we are live. We are glad that we can learn. We are glad that we can, do so much with internet and social media. We pray, oh God, that today someone is reached. We pray that today, we are able to do what you invited us to do here and not to do our own things. And this is my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So yeah, like I told you, I've been hanging out with, quite a number of great people. So kwanza, let me know from Pastor Hula. Have you ever been in a VIP lounge? And how was the experience?
Yes and no.
Yeah, short and long answer.
Even ndio kulienda. So we were taken for this tour to the airport, JKIA. Tukaambiwa manze, we are going to board a plane. And my feet were lighting up.
Yeah.
Alafu huo tour guide akatuambia sasa tutafunzwa maneno ya first class, second class, third class.
Yes,
pia unasikianga kuna seventh class pia. Wacha sasa tukaanza na hiyo ya mwisho. Kielekea hiyo ya kwanza. Sasa hiyo ya kwanza ikafika.
Pastor Hula.
It was deadly. So tukaambiwa the best they can do for us today is to allow us to just have a feel of the chairs, Kujinaifu tu kiasi. Alafu tukaambiwa, can you can you estimate about how much it costs to be in this particular category of class? Wacha tukaguess tukaambiwa manze tumeanguka kwa hiyo guess zote. The figure that was said, my friend, ilibidi tu tushuke hiyo ndege hapo hapo.
How much was it? Hatuogopi, taja.
My friend, don't name it euros.
Well, all right.
So yes, nimekuwa VIP, nikajua hapa lazima nitatia bidii ndio nikuwe nikinunua tikiti kaa hiyo once in my lifetime.
Kabisa manze, it's good to hear from you. It's good to hear from you. And yes, guys, this is a hangout manze. So what is happening here?
Nice to be here.
Tunapiga story hadi mwisho. Sawa sawa. So let me shift quickly to Munguti Mwathi. Ushikwa kwa VIP bro.
Mdosi umenishika off guard mbaya sana.
Kama hujawahi sema, unajua pia si ati hakuna pressure.
Hata sasa niko VIP, ni ile tu sitaki kuwaonyesha mtu wangu. Nimekuanga kwa VIP always na we don't say.
Kwani VIP ni wapi wewe? Wewe unaelewa VIP kweli?
Si VIP ni mali unaletwa tu maji. Kuna kuanga na kaji. Kuna tu maji hapa. Kuna kajuice hapa. Niko VIP, mimi nashinanga VIP mtu wangu.
Kabisa. Unajua kwanza kaunge kumewasha kamera tungekuona poa, but haina noma. Maybe you have a bad hair day. Haina noma.
Siwezi kubali cause mnaweza hamia kwangu.
Right. Let's appreciate Munguti. Let's appreciate Munguti. Asante sana my guy. Now let's go to Timothy Muindi. Timo manze, ushaikwa kwa VIP? Alafu Blacks na kuja kwako.
Hapo umeniweza stani.
Unaweza penda kuonja?
Busa. Buti peleka takani.
Mimi nakwambia corona ikiisha wewe nitafute ndakupeleka na Rieng, sawa? Blacks. Story yako ya VIP inakaaje? Unmute yourself.
VIP.
Bro, unajua ukai. Unakaa tu VIP. Haina noma. Wacha nisikie kwa nani? Joseph Muliongi. Bro, ushikwa kwa VIP. Na warembo wako wapi? Haina noma. Haujikwa kwa VIP. Nipatie dakika moja niwaonjeshe venye VIP ukaa. So naona watu wengi hapa hawajikwa kwa VIP. So I want you to give me a minute and just give you a taste of what VIP ukaa. Dakika mbili peke yake, all right? So this is how VIP lounge ukaa.
This lounge is for our premium guests, so that's our business class, first class and residence passengers. The size of the lounge is 7,500 square foot, so it's a big lounge. We can accommodate 132 people in this lounge. And I think something that really stands out about this lounge is the centerpiece, which is the bar. As you see and you get a sense here, you don't really feel as though you're in an airport lounge, though of course the aircraft in the background does give it away. But it feels more like a trendy Manhattan bar. And that's the sort of the look and feel that we've gone for. In terms of some of the other amenities that we have here, we have a hot and cold buffet that's available. Plus as well, we have a restaurant area here for fine dining. Serving, we have an a la carte menu. So the food that we provide and also a boutique wine list as well is exactly the same as what you find on board. So we're all about providing a seamless service, and it's about providing luxury not only in the air but also on the ground as well. So basically this lounge is 500 square feet, so it's pretty sizable, sort of a lot bigger than a New York apartment. Of course, we have the seating area here, a large TV. We have, of course, the dining is set up so guests can actually dine before they get on the aircraft as well.
I know people are going to spend a lot of time here, so what else can they do apart from eat?
Apart from it, they can eat, they can relax, obviously. We also have a prayer room and also as well an ensuite bathroom and shower as well. And in addition to that, Ben, we have a separate entrance. We've come through the secret door that leads you in through the main lounge. Right. But in addition to that, we have a private entrance because I'm sure you can appreciate many of our residents, passengers, they demand sort of privacy. Absolutely. So they actually have their own entrance in and out of here as well.
All right, I think we saw that. Umecheki maneno?
Yeah.
What stands out for you? Umecheki nini? What do you like about that lounge, apart from the bar? Black.
Want to increase sales? Try Bittrex.
Hey.
Blacks, nangoja uongee, nangoja useme, umela nini, what stands out for you? Unatamani?
Aya, si ndio bana.
Right. Right. Timothy, what stands out for you? Would you like to have that kind of life? Timothy, unmute yourself. Timothy, unmute yourself. All right. Joseph, unaweza penda kukuwa na hiyo life manze? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, ningependa kuwa nayo saa. Nimeipenda.
Ungependa tu kuonjeshwa kama pasta hula eh? Alafu unachekiwa alikuwa ameandika hadi bei.
Lakini bei kuna venye naleta noma.
Wacha nisikie Kidero. Kidero, ungependa kuonja hiyo life? Kidero.
Oya.
Kabisa. Unaonaje hiyo life?
Your life ni unatuko umbali, but one day ndafika tu hapo one day.
One day. Lazima bro kuwe na dream. Lazima dream yako ikuwe imeiva poa, sawa?
Ndio hiyo.
Hiyo kuna vitu zingine huwezi amka tu. Lazima ukuwe na ndoto inaenda mahali. And we'll be talking about that in a little bit. But let me ask, and now that we are talking about dreams, I'm a Pastor Nduati, would you like to talk about, what you just saw? Ushikuwa na experience ama umeonaje? And then I will ask you whether you have a dream.
Hiyo muona tu kwa movie, ni movie tu naonanga. In fact, nipo au kuniuliza ati VIP, whether I've had a VIP status, because zamani nilikuwa nangojanga kuingia Max ama gari nipatiwe kiti ya mbele. Nilikuwa najua hiyo ni VIP.
My friend, wacha nikuambie, mimi Pastor Zef akinibebea kwa kiti yake ya mbele, hapo kwa driver, mwaga nimefika. Unajua kila mtu ako na celeb kwa life yake. We all have a celebrity in our life. Mine is Pastor Zef akinibebea kwa mbele nimefika. Go ahead.
So kuna siku mazeni niliblanda, niliingia ma3 nikajua nimepatiwa kiti ya mbele. Kama nimepatiwa kiti ya mbele, that means I would pay. Boss, niliitishwa do yani nikashindwa. Mbona mnanisha pesa? It's not a luxury. It's no but yes, I have a dream. I have many dreams, and it's just the kind of life that is luxurious in terms of I can turn on one side and get what I want.
Yeah.
I can, just reach out and I have whatever I want. So yes, I do have a big dream.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I might be coming back to you or not. So would you like to mention the size of your dream? I'm to attend your story.
My big dream is I'm a musician. I'm an arts person. So mine is to see. I'm a songwriter, and it's to see my music global. So I'm thinking, just traveling around the world and just influencing people through my music. That's my big dream.
All right. Snap. Do you have a big dream? Ama uko na ndoto? Do you have a dream? Thank you very much, Pastor Nduati. Wacha nikupigie makofi juu ya story. There we go. Nipe thumbs up.
Yeah, what's up? Sorry for that. Yeah, I have a big dream. I do have a big dream.
Share, man. Share.
Ndio lifestyle ya kayo ya Emirates. Yeah, ningependa lifestyle kayo. Yeah, dream yangu mimi na dream kuwa work for the government of Kenya, like to ni kwetu renowned, like nijulikane for my hacking skills, like nadai kuwa hacker mimi. So hacking skills zangu zijulikane, like wakisikia tu Snap wanajua that's the guy. Yeah, so that's my big dream.
Awesome. Do you know who else has a big dream and would like to work for the government? I will be inviting him later. He's here with us. Yani him would like to work for the government. Na si hapa. Nchi za mbali. I will be inviting him. He's my guest today. So we'll be hearing a little bit more from him and about that dream. Lakini akona ndoto zingine more. But let me hear from Paul. Paul, do you have a big dream, bro?
Yes, I do have. My big dream is to become... Hello?
Nakurada.
Dream yangu kubwa ni inalaisa kwa career yangu. Napenda kwa ule engineer mkubwa kabisa, ni mwenye ukinitatizo niambie hapa kuna problem. Na isipokuwa mara moja bila kufanya hapo disaster.
Kabisa, man. So I want us to go to, thank you very, and everybody man, if you can pigia wasi wamebonga makofi, alafu kama unaweza wapigia chauko hello, ama kama unaweza wapigia virtually up or down, let's go ahead and do that. Reaction, twende kazi, reaction. Wacha nione mkireact manze. Kidero wacha wewe, Kidero bana, weka reaction Kidero. All right. Thank you very much everybody who shared. Nyinyi ni mashujaa wa mine. One thing about your big dreams is that dream yako inaweza kupeleka place unataka, man. Dream yako inaweza kupeleka anywhere. Asante Kidero. Dream yako inaweza kupeleka anywhere. Paul, I see you. All right. Now, all this began na mse moja. There's a young man from uko Ivo State too. Alikaa chini akafikiria angependa kuona a different world manze. And I also have a dream. I will be sharing my dream. But uchali alikaa chini, okay, wacha ni share basi. Dream yangu mimi nataka nikuwe na a big center pande za Joska. Nikuwe na shamba bigi, alafu hiyo shamba iko na a transition center. Kwa hiyo transition center, we are training and deploying every 6 months. We are training and deploying 50 people, missionaries. Missionaries wako na rasta, missionaries wasanii, missionaries yani kila mtu. We are training and deploying 50 every 6 months. Wanaenda wanafanya injili, do whatever they want to do. And because I want to reach so many people, I want to reach 10,000 people kwanza. 10,000 people, leaders, by 2025, September 13th. Unaget, yangu hata iko na kadi chumvi hapo hivyo. But kuna mse moja alikaa chini akasema, I have a dream. And I want us to watch this clip because after this I'll be inviting our guest who will come and talk to us a little bit about hizo stories zote tumesema, VIPs, dreams, na zina connectaje, na zinaingianaje na life yangu. Ladies and gentlemen, kuna lady, I think there's a lady, I saw a lady, apart from Pastor Hula, there's another lady nilikaribisha. Aya, hakuna alienda wapi? Yeah, but...
Gloria.
Oh, Gloria.
Gloria
yes. I had seen Gloria manze. Kabisa. Kuna Gloria. Now Jesse sijakusahau. I'll be coming to you. But I want us to watch this and then I will invite my guest to come and speak to us. Wase wangu wa Facebook, thank you very much for tuning in. Now, let us know also what you think about the things that we are talking about here. Kwanza kama ushikwa kwa VIP lounge, and number 2, do you have a big dream? But first, let's watch this video na tuone tunaweza saidianaje, si ndio? Ama tunaweza learn nini from this one?
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
And we can stop at that point, but I mean, even just from that, there is, I don't know what you're picking, but there's so much that we can pick and learn from, you know, just that statement that I have a dream. So there's so many things that I'm picking, and I want to invite somebody else who is better than me to explain a little bit more about, you know, what we just saw and what we've been talking about. Kwa wale wanaingia saizi, akina, this is Sharon. Let me kwanza big up my people here. Sharon manze, big up. Unaweza sema kitu tusikia sauti tu.
Thank you, Dante.
Karibu. Yeah, there we go.
I hope all of
It's
you are
16
okay.
hours.
I joined late. My app was not up to date, but I'm glad I'm here now. I hope I've not missed a lot. Yeah.
Well, you've missed quite something, eh? But you know, the best is yet to come. Now, I want to invite somebody here, and he will be talking to us about some of these things. But let me first let you know that kwa wale wanaingia sai, we are looking at some of the things that we looked at early in our session was kwanza the question of kwanza kama ushikwa kwa VIP, ever been in a VIP lounge and how that feels, you'll be shocked. Kuna watu hapa mazee washikwa kwa VIP lounge. I don't know kama you have a big dream, and we've been talking about that. But Sharon, Steve, you know, karibuni sana. Who else just got in late? Gloria, karibu sana. Maxwell, karibu sana. Brian Jones, karibu sana. Mary Nzile, karibuni sana. Na watu wetu wa Facebook, karibuni sana. But allow me to give this opportunity to the man who have prepared to be here with us. And because he's here with us, let us allow him an opportunity. But kwanza, tumpigie makofi au sio? So kama kawaida, the way we do it, kama unataka kumpigia makofi cha ukuelo, ama unataka kumpigia makofi kwa reactions, let's go on. Put your hands together for the one and only, the amazing Superman himself, Pastor Zeph.
Well, thank you, Hype Dante. Let me say that I'm not Superman, but I have the Superman in me, Jesus Christ. He is a Superman who...
You're trying to be humble right now, and I'm about to burst your bubble right now. I think in this group, you're the only person who've been to a VIP lounge in an airport. Ukweli uongo.
Well, I have peeped. I have walked through it anyway. I didn't sit there, but I have walked through it, and so it was a great pleasure to see that, and I'll be showing you shortly.
All right. Yeah, we would like to hear from you, but I know you've been listening. Umekuwa backstage, you're just listening to our stories. Madhogodhanio vile tulibebwa kwa kiti ya mbele. Sasa hizo ni gani? Now, you will be telling us about the real deal. All right?
Wait, Dante.
You'll be telling us about the real deal. And I want to give you this opportunity. But, ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Zeph is a pastor from Life Spring Chapel, Asiokimau. He's a friend of mine and a friend of young people. And he's here to tell us exactly, or to help us really understand what this means. Now, I also lead a church, a youth church called The Move from Embakasi. And The Move is a young church and a young adult church. And this season, we are going through a series called The Drift. And you can catch The Drift series on YouTube every Wednesday, 8:30. Kwa hivyo tukimaliza hapa tupata YouTube majama, 8:30. And why I'm calling Pastor Zeph a Superman is because Pastor Zeph has worked with me personally, but he's also worked with young adults at The Move every Wednesday. And surely, he deserves a better hand clap. And I know we did that. But right now, Pastor Zeph, go ahead and tell us your VIP stories and more. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Hype Dante. I appreciate you, and you're one of the people I celebrate who has gone ahead to see your dream come true. And yeah, you are on a great path, and I see greatness in you as well. Karibuni sana, all of you on this forum, on the Zoom forum, those of you who are on Facebook Live, karibuni sana, Michael Kabari, I can see you. Thank you for constantly following us. Jonjo Mue, Mugendi Anthony, thank you for following. And I've been going through the Drift series, dealing with life transitions. And we know every young adult is at a place of transitioning to adulthood, from having a life of school to a place where you are either in college or you have just finished college and have started working. And so you are in a space that sometimes is not very, very definite. You do not know exactly what is ahead for you. But I've been sharing, and I'll continue to share just some tips that will help you be able to go to the place where you want to go. Just to review a little bit, we started off by looking at building a strong foundation, and you say that chances of success in life begin with building a strong foundation in God with a clear vision. And I talked about vision at the beginning, but I did not go deeper into that, and that's why today I'm going to be looking at that. But also having goals and commitments while counting the cost for your life journey. So that's a very important thing to begin with. When you have a strong foundation, then you're assured that that strong foundation will help you build the rest of the walls and the roof on a foundation that will never be shaken. But we also looked at taking responsibility for your choices, and growth is important because when you do that, and then you're able to know that you are in control, you are in charge of your life, and the growth of your life, you are the one who can make it happen. And when you are lost on your journey, learn from your mistakes and make better choices to stay on course. And so that's part of just taking responsibility so that you don't shift responsibility to other people. But thirdly, we looked at constructive accountability with proper boundaries, which is important in helping you achieve your goals and fulfill your dreams. When you have people, mentors or coaches or peers who keep you accountable, then they will help you get to where you want to go. So every young person needs constructive accountability with proper boundaries. But in our last session, in our last episode, we looked at the need for authenticity, and we said the need for authenticity is important because that's where you fill your life tank. When you are emotionally drained, spiritually drained, mentally drained, or physically drained, you need authentic relationships to fill that tank of yours. And so that's so far what we have been able to cover. And if you want the episodes, as Dante has said, you can get them on YouTube. Just follow them, and we will be together. Today, we want to look at VIP. You are a very important person. And I've been privileged to get into launches in the airports, but also in some hotels where we have VIP lounges. And VIP lounge are for the exclusive use of people who have either paid large amounts of money to gain privileged access or are about to do so. And so it requires you to actually get quite some large amounts of money for you to be there. But I can tell you for sure that I have not paid so much money for the VIP launches that I have gone. And the reason is because I know who I am, and God has given me those privileges whenever I have desired them. And it begins with a dream. We'll come to that. This is just a part of a launch that I saw one of the times that I was traveling. Very, very cute. This is at Dubai, and so it looks so beautiful. And Hype Dante showed us the Etihad one. Yes, which was a live one. All right, so now leave alone about the VIP, because that's a very important person's place. But today we want to look and focus, how do you become that kind of a VIP? A VIP. And the VIP we are talking about is about having a vision, intentionality, and pathway to action, or plans that will help you reach that particular vision. It begins with a vision, it continues on with intentionality, and you must have a pathway to action for you to achieve that particular dream. All right, let me define what a vision is. A vision is a picture of you radically transformed, living abundant life, spiritually, socially, economically, etc. There are various spheres of life that you may be wanting to live abundant life. And so when you have a vision, that kind of a vision, how do you picture yourself living radically transformed and experiencing God in a powerful way, both spiritually, socially, economically, etc. in God's kingdom here on earth? Because God's kingdom is here on earth. And so we can enjoy what God has given to us right here on earth. And so what is that vision? Do you have a vision? Do you have a dream? And then vision begins with understanding your identity. When you don't know who you are, you cannot get into the VIP lounge unless you are an important person. So you need to understand who you are. It begins with a solid identity in knowing and believing who God is first, because He is your creator, but also knowing who you are in him, and what you have in him. Those three things are very key, very important. Knowing who God is, knowing who you are, but also knowing what you have in him. Many of us look for what we have in him and do not want to know who he is. We sidetrack when we do that. The first thing, if you want to know yourself, you have to know who God is, because he is your creator. It is through knowing who God is that you will be able to discover who you are. And once you discover who you are, then you're able to know what you have in God. You know your inheritance. And so vision and dreams are very, very connected. Vision is inspired by dreams, heart's longings and desires. And I believe each one of us has that. You have things that you've been dreaming about since you were a child. You have heart's longings and desires. And it's an issue of just converting that and giving it a picture and shedding some pictures about what that would look like. All right. I have prepared a vision board. I'll be showing you one of these days. Maybe next week I'll show you. But a vision board basically brings out a picture of the kind of life that you want to live. All right, and it's inspired by the dreams, the heart's longings, and the desires that you have. But they have to be aligned with God. They have to be aligned with what God intended for you. And so what dreams, longings, and desires have you had growing up? That's a question. And the other question is, are they aligned to what God intended? Are they aligned to what God intended? Remember that you have been produced by God. If we could put it like a product, the manufacturer is the one who actually puts it together. And so you have been put together by God. And if you only want to know why you exist, the purpose why you live, then you have to go to the person who created you. And so your dreams, your longings, your desires need to be aligned to what God intended. And how do you do that? Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18 says, where there is no revelation, revelation is understanding the depth of what God has intended for you. People cast off restraint. If you don't know why you were created, if you don't know the reason why God put you on this earth, then you will cast off restraint. You will just be living, you'll just be existing. But blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. And this is where you get the wisdom, the understanding, and the knowledge of who God is. All right? We talked about dreams, and Hype Dante started off by just putting on Martin Luther's big dream, which was bring racial equality to all of us. And we've been seeing what has been going on the news in America that has sparked protests all over the world about racial discrimination after the death of George Floyd. And so it's still a reality that Martin King Luther saw many, many years ago. And the struggle still continues. All right? So sometimes you may have a dream, a big dream, and I encourage you, have a big dream. Sometimes it may not be you who fulfills it, but those who come after you will fulfill it. Kwame Nkrumah, big dream was to bring unity to all Africa. It has not been realized yet, but it's gonna come to pass. Bill Gates' dream was to put a computer in every home in America. I think his dream has surpassed. He's still living, but his dream has surpassed because almost all over the world, people have computers now, and they have it even on their phones now. Another recent man, Tyler Perry's dream, he says, I want to own a network. I want to own a network where you can turn it on with your family all day long and get positive reinforcement. Tyler Perry is just a black man who recently launched one of the biggest studios on earth. It's even bigger than Hollywood now. And his dream is coming to pass. Let's see what happens. So those are just part of the big dreams. My big dream has been and continues to be a free and righteous world led by authentic visionaries, and I have even a number to it, 1 million, reflecting God's image, reproducing disciples who reconcile the world to God through Christ. That is my big dream. And part of even the motivation for me to constantly do this is to encourage many visionaries. I call in those of you who are here. Do you have a dream? Do you have a vision for yourself? You're the kind of people that I'm looking for, to work with, to encourage, to support, and so that we are able to see our dreams come to pass. In the Bible, we have one person who dreamt, and many of you probably know this story, Joseph. Joseph's big dream. He saw 11 of his siblings bowing to him. When he was 17, he was just 17. Most of you here are older than 17. And so Joseph at 17 dreamt about having rulership, and even his parents did not believe it. They asked him, are you going to rule over us? If you read that in Genesis chapter 38, verse 5 to 9, you will get that dream. And we see him, he continues to dream, and he continues with intentionality to see his purpose being fulfilled. And so what would it take for your vision to change and be aligned to God's dream? What would it take? What would it take for your vision to change and be aligned to God's dream? We'll have some time for interaction thereafter. And so real change comes from the heart. Real and lasting transformation begins from the heart as you love God for who he is. It begins with loving God, all right? If you want to have a big dream that is aligned to God's dream for you, then loving God is what he calls us to. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Your heart is a very important place, and it is the place of transformation. That is where dreams emanate from. That is where dreams flow from, all right? But the second thing, after you have had dream, we've talked extensively about dreams. You can't just dream and stop there. You must have intentionality, all right? You must have intentionality. You must be intentional about it. Let me explain what that means. Google Dictionary says intentionality is a fact of being deliberate or purposive. When you are purposive, when you are deliberate about your dream, every day you are asking yourself, how can I move closer to my dream? My definition of intentionality is that this is what motivates the learning process and working energy to achieve a vision, the willingness to make choices that will cost you to get what you want. Do you have motivation sufficient enough to see that dream come to pass? All right? And then there is a learning process. When you're going through life, Joseph had to learn through the process. When he was at Potiphar's house, he learned it. He continued to grow. When he was taken in prison, he continues to execute. He continued to learn. And all that was classes that would elevate him to where he needed to be. How are you intentional where you are now as a young adult? Do you consider even COVID-19 season as an opportunity for you to learn? Because everything that happens is an opportunity. The moment you stop looking at it as a distraction and you're waiting, you're saying, awacha corona ishe. What if it continues for a while? You must see this as an opportunity, as a learning process. All right? See it as a learning process. Do you have energy? Every day you wake up and say, I want to see my dream come to pass. The willingness to make choices. You have to make choices that will cost you. You have to put aside some things that are distractions in order for you to see your vision being fulfilled. And the source of intentionality is the soul, okay? So the soul is a place where intentionality begins. And the soul has two parts. We have talked about this before. The soul has a will that makes choices based on information or beliefs received. So even in this time, what is the information you're receiving? What are you reading? What are the books you're reading? What are the movies you're watching? What are the things that are helping you to make the choices that will push you closer to the vision. But the second part of the soul is the emotion, which feels for the body as a result of the choices you have made, either consciously or unconsciously. When you have made choices, you will feel something about yourself, all right? So intentionality comes deep from the soul. The will and the emotions are fed by what comes to the mind, and what you allow in your mind will shape what comes out of your soul in terms of your willpower to make choices and what you feel about yourself. That's a very important point for me to emphasize. Now, what you allow in your mind, that's part of intentionality. What you allow in your mind, what are the thoughts that go through your mind? How do they shape the willpower that you have to make choices? And how do they shape how you feel about yourself, about others, and about God as a result of the choices that you have made? All right? So intentionality is very, very important, and it begins from the soul. Galatians 5:16 to 17 says, so I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want. Remember that there is a battle that is going on. Your flesh will not want your dream to come to pass. And the enemy uses your flesh many times. So you have to crucify your flesh every time. You have to put them at the altar of your spirit and listening to the Spirit of God, connecting with God and understanding what is God saying about me. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So you're asking yourself, how do I change my mind? It is not to begin to think the way the world thinks. Begin to think, what is the mind of Christ? How would Christ live this life if he was a young adult? And then when you do that, you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. The last thing I'm about to finish is pathway plans. We said VIP. V means visionary, and I means intentionality, and P means pathway plans. What are your pathway plans? What is it that you plan? Pathway plans, this is a path, strategy, or means by which change is directed for a vision and intention to be accomplished. It will include step-by-step plans, processes, and activities that fulfill your vision. What are your plans? I know you may be a student now. What are your plans to become the best student so far? And even before you join college, for some of you who have just finished Form 4, what are your plans during this season to bring you closer to your vision? What is it that you wake up every morning and say, today, I want to do 1, 2, 3 in order to fulfill my vision? How do you change your pathway so that it aligns to God? How do you change your pathway in order to align to God's pathway and strategy? Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you. It is God who knows those plans, by the way, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. You have to constantly consult God, praying to him, asking him, God, what do you want me to do today? And whatever he places in your thoughts. God may not speak in a loud voice and tells you, Mary, I want you to go to the market. No. He will give you some thoughts. He will lay some heart desires in you. And so that you will want to accomplish what he has laid on your heart. And so God knows your plans, and he will indeed fulfill them. Proverbs 16:3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So as you continue to consult God, as you continue to pray, as he lays things in your heart, commit them to God. Continually ask God to give you clarity of everything that is coming on. So that is how you create classic plans that will take you to your VIP launch, okay? Remember this, that false beliefs lead to inaccurate thinking, which lead to a weak willpower and unhealthy emotions, which lead to poor choices and destructive behaviors. And so be intentional, therefore, with who you are and what you do. That is how to become a VIP. Back to you, Dante.
Thank you very much, Pastor Zeph. Wow. You know, it's amazing how much you can learn in just 15 minutes or so. I think 20 minutes or so. And it also amazes me how much you can do with 1 hour. Guys, within 1 hour, we've been able to have fun, watch videos, get to hear from each other. And the last thing I wouldn't want us to leave this place without is leave this place. Kama manze sijasikia sauti zenu, nataka kujua kama mko na mimi ama mmeni left. So, wacha kwanza nisikie magaldem. You know, when we started, ilikuwa a main thing, mpaka tulikuwa tunafikiria kuchoma nyama at some point. So let me hear from the ladies. So kwanza, the first lady to come here alikuwa anaitwa Mary Nzile. Mary Nzile, it is a lot here since you came in here. But let me first ask, do you have a dream? And how big is your dream? Mary, uko na mimi?
Yes.
All right. Uko na dream manze? Kulingana na story umesikia, do you have a dream? Ama nini may stand out for you?
Okay, I have a dream.
Uh-huh.
My dream is bigger than, let's say, like a mountain. Okay. I have many dreams. I know what I want to become, what I am aspiring to have in future. And I'm focusing on what I see. A dream is like, let's say, like a picture in your mind. Kenye unataka kukua, kenye una where you are in.
Very tulia tu. Mimi nataka kujua yako. Yako ni gani?
My dream.
Uh-huh.
My dream is to become a good qualified doctor, veterinary doctor. And to go many places and to inspire many people.
All right. To inspire many people. All right. I'm not sure, but I think Gloria came in here before you. So I will go to Gloria next. Lakini asante sana Mary for sharing. Hii makofi ni yako. All right. Gloria, twende kazi. From what was shared today, what do you take away home? Yani ukienda home mwambie watu nilikuwa hangout. What stood out for you from this hangout? Gloria, let's go.
This hangout, it has taught me that I need the VIP, the vision, intentionality, and pathway. It has taught me how I need my dream so that I can, focus on, And my dream is I've always had a dream to make an impact in, I don't know which way, but I've always wanted to make an impact in people's lives. In future.
All right. Another lady, let's go to Sharon Chepkemoi. Shepu. Umelan nini manze leo?
So today I've learned a lot of things, but what stood out for me was that everything that happened is an opportunity for you to grow, to learn. Yeah, and that for me to discern my vision, I need to understand first who God is, who I am, and then from there, what I have in him. Yeah.
Awesome. I need to, I have so many friends. Let me ask, is this Ledisha?
Yeah, it's me.
Unajua na VIP kumbe. Okay. Najua watu wameanza kusikia vibaya. It's all right. Hata nyinyi mjikaze. Let's go to Sharon. Our time is really flying. I need to end this, but I want to hear Sharon. What is it that you got from today's session, hangout rather? Sharon Mweni. All right, Sharon ameniekea black, aina noma, Black Lives, Let's go to manze warembo wameisha Aya, ni wao tu. Okay, let me go to Frank. Just scare Frank. Frank, what is it that stands out for you today?
We have Lydia there.
We have Lydia Njoki, yes. Before Frank, Lydia, wacha tusikie story yako. Lydia alafu Frank. Ladies first. Men before.
Sawa. For me, what has stand out ni being intentional. Yes, being intentional in what you do. Because most of the time, kuna hiyo you're not intentional in what you want to do. So yeah, hiyo tu ndio kitu stand out. The main thing, that I stood out, but I've learned a lot.
All right. So if everybody became intentional, the world will become a better place for us all to be in. Got you. And if I get it, you can also get it. Sindio? Frank, tumalizie. Frank, mimi nataka kuuliza. I know you have a dream. I know you do. Okay? Because you are a young trailblazer. But I want to ask you, what is it that you're going to do about your dream this week? Nimekuona muko sawa. Frank, nipeleke na Rieng. Frank, twende bana. Frank amenihepa. All right. Who wants to answer that? Something that you want to do, with your dream this week. How are you going to be intentional this week? All right. What are you planning to do with your dream this week? And to some people, it could be, I am going to be a little bit more detailed. I will put some figures in it. You saw what our coach has done. He has put some figures into his dream. He can see it. You can also have images in your dream. What is it that you're planning to do with your dream this week before we meet next week? Wacha niruke kwa Blacks. Blacks tulianza na wewe ni chuma ya kitambo. Let's go. What is it that you're planning to do with your dream this week? Nataka tukafunge majama, but nataka sana kusikia story.
Okay, I want to research and know more about what I want to do. My dream, that is.
Na iko sawa.
I want to know, yeah.
Keep going. All right. You want to do something else?
No.
All right. Na iko sawa pia hiyo. He wants to research and know more about his dream. I wish it's something that we can, plan to do this week, because we all have a dream somewhere. Unless maze umededi, uko na ndoto mahali. Now you need to work on your dream. All right. You need to make it a little bit. Work on it. And when we meet next week, let's come back with that. And I will ask questions. But kama utakuwa na answer, usikuwe na pressure, usikose kukuja, eh? Welcome. Next week, we'll be looking at something else. It's another opportunity to learn in our hangouts. And the best hangout you can have in Nairobi, sila kukaa kwa mawe, ni hangout una learn na una grow. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the live hangout. And hapa hivi hakuna watoto, hapa hivi hakuna dinosaurs ama Zinjanthropus, hapa ni young adults. Everybody here is a young adult in my name, all right? I have made all of you young adults because that's the way to go right now. Without young adults, the world would be so boring. Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again next week. Work on your VIP. You are a VIP. You can do it. We are here to help you. When we meet next week, we'll be learning something else. And of course, if you want Pastor Zeph to come back, let me know on the chat ama kwa Facebook. Wacha nijue mnatakaje au sio? But I'll be kwa plan zangu lazima nimlete tena. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for yourself and also for our life coach today, Pastor Zeph, even as we exit. Let's go. Reactions, twende kazi watu wangu. Reactions, twende kazi. Yeah, that's amazing. My name is Hype Dante. See you at 8:30 for a repeat of this. And on YouTube, the movie is the page. But right now, I have to leave you, and you are on the safe hands of Jesus himself, because he is the perfecter and author of your life. And here we go. you can start to exit. Unajua pia nikianza kubonga sana sasa, watu wa Facebook watakasirika na mimi. So, kwa heri, tuanze kuonana, si ndio? Time to go. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, unmute yourself and we can share the words of the grace. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ
and the love of God, the fellowship of the
Fellowship
Holy
with the Holy Spirit
Spirit, be with us
be
now
with us now
forevermore.
Amen.
Amen.
Kwaherini sana. I love you all. And if you don't believe it, you have a problem.
So invite somebody next week. Next week we'll be looking at courage to fulfill your vision. And so invite someone.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Right, kwaherini.
Brother Some anaingia saa hii.
Ako tu sawa.
Any questions? Wale wamebaki, labda we can do some 15 minutes of interaction. We are out of Facebook. All right. Ama tumalize.
Kafunge.
By the way, you could be having a question. Akina Sharon na bado wako hapa hivi, eh? And maybe you have a question about your dream. Maybe you're not even sure whether what you have is a dream. It's okay to ask. Yes, Sharon, uliza.
Yes, Pasi. So may I have a question? For some of us, it's a challenge. Maybe you're not really sure of what.
Simon, napiga hapa.
Sharon, come again. Sharon, come again.
Sharon, unmute yourself. I have muted everybody because watu walikuwa nakupigia kelele ukiongea kwa story yako. All right,
you can hear me now?
Yes.
So I was asking, for some of us, like we don't have that clarity of our vision right now. Like we are struggling. We're feeling like some of the things you're not doing, it's ish, like you're not so sure about that. So what advice do you have? Like what can we do to get to that point? You know, this is my vision, and you know when you get to that position, you'll do all it takes to fulfill it. So yeah, what advice do you have?
Pastor Hula, I know you can answer that.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Right.
Was that from Sharon?
Yes.
Oh, okay. By the way, what you're going through is okay. All right. It's a very important stage. Not to know it all, and to be in a place of self-discovery, even in dreams, even in visions. Yeah. So don't feel like others are ahead of you or you're being left behind. That's where I would start. The other thing is you will feel as you live a day at a time, you'll feel yourself attracted or being pulled to a certain routine, a certain habit, a certain career, a certain profession, or a certain business that begins to build the picture of your vision. All right, you begin to feel that you are attracted by somebody who is doing something that's making a positive difference in life. So you're like, oh my goodness, I wish one day I would be like this person. So that attraction pull force is building a picture of you, what you're keen to do in life, your interest. Then you begin to even add onto that dream overnight, over day, and build on it. For example, let me give an example of what Pastor Dante just shared today, that he admires Pastor Zeph, you see, and so he looks up to him onto some things. And if you look keenly at what Pastor Dante is doing and what Pastor Zeph does, you can almost see some similarity. All right. So he begins to build onto that because he has a reflection of what he's seen ahead of him. Unaniget, Sharon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is okay to be where you are at now, but the more you feel that I feel this chef, I feel this doctor, I feel this artist, then you're like, oh yeah, kumbe, this is where I am. My pool of forces, my attraction is at. That is actually your dream. All right. And then now to begin to build on it, like he said, Pastor Zeph said, is now you need to be dedicated, to be intentional, to bring it to the surface, and now look for people who can be able to speak into it. Manze, me Pasi, I feel that I would like to become, a cateress or to be a CEO of this. Then now you begin to receive some inspiration from those who are within that particular dream or that particular vision. And it comes with time. Okay?
Yeah. Awesome.
That's why there was
awesome.
that's why there's a pathway to it. It is a process. But it has to start with that dream. It has to start with that picture, a vision to it. And I loved what Pastor Zeph said. He even put a number to his, 1 million, I'm like, oh, wow. So you're on the right place. Just keep it here. Keep it real.
That's very profound. So you don't need to stress yourself about, what if I get lost? What if I am doing the wrong thing? What if I am studying the wrong thing? One of the things that I have learned is that every opportunity that comes in your life counts for your dream. And so, for example, if you're in college now, I think, Sharon, you are in college.
Yeah.
And what are you studying?
I'm doing law.
Oh, okay. So what made you do law? Was it a desire that you had, or were you told by your mom or somebody else?
Actually, it was a desire I had, but I don't know, like it got to a point.
All right. So that's great. And you followed that desire. So where you are now, use every opportunity that is there in the law school to learn whatever it is. And sometimes you may find it so hard. Like, for example, I went to college. Let me give you my life example so that I muted myself. I went to college and I was called to do BA. And so when I reached there, I changed because my dad wanted me to do education because education was more sure in terms of getting a job. And so I struggled with that, but I eventually changed. Nilichange shingo upande kwa sababu nilikuwa nimeambiwa. So I went through, graduated, and because I did very well in mathematics, those are the subjects that I chose in high school. I had an A in mathematics. And so I chose to do mathematics and economics in my undergraduate. Little did I know that I was going to have a hard time in college. So I struggled, especially with mathematics. And I even had some retakes. So in fact, I didn't graduate the year I was supposed to graduate. And because some of the mathematics was just, it was not something that I anticipated. And so I struggled through that. Now, after that, I didn't even go for teaching because the year before us, the TSC stopped recruiting teachers. And so I had to now look out for myself for something else. I taught in a college for 1 year. And before that, I had a desire to do business. So I got into business. And 2 months into my business venture, I moved even from Nairobi to Eldoret to start a business there. And the business I was going to start was a college. God spoke to me. I had to come back to Nairobi and work in church. So I heard very clearly that God wanted me to come and work in church. And throughout the years, I've done pastoral work for the past 20 years or so. I didn't know where the economics and mathematics I learned or I did in college would be relevant until last year, when it became clear that God was calling me back into the business world. All right? And so the things that I learned in college are some of the things that I am now using, but now they have been sharpened to align to what God's will is. We did a course last year called Biblical Entrepreneurship, and it just changed my perspective about business in a kingdom perspective, with a kingdom perspective. And so the things I learned in college have been turned around, and just for me to look at them now with a kingdom eye. And so whatever you are doing, Sharon, now in law school, it may be hard, or things may be difficult there, but God gave you that desire and He opened the doors for you to get into college. You are now studying. Jikaze tu. You never know where that law will be applied. It may not be the career that you will get into. By the way, for most of you who are here, when you're choosing a subject, your career is not your purpose. Your career is a tool. It's a vehicle that leads you to fulfill your purpose. Okay? And we will talk about purpose a little more in another session. Your career or whatever you are studying is not the end, is not your purpose. All those opportunities that are available to shape you, to give you certain skills, certain tools. I have been a teacher, and one of my passion, my gift is teaching, as I am doing in this place. As much as I was running away from teaching in campus, thanks be to my dad, who forced me to do teaching. The skills I learned as a teacher are helping me to prepare lesson plans, to do schemes of work, curriculum. I have done many curriculums now. And the knowledge I received in campus on curriculum development has been helpful. And so you never know, every circumstance that happens in your life, every opportunity that comes your way is a stepping stone towards your vision. The thing is, you need to constantly ask yourself, what's a big vision that God wants me to fulfill? All right? And once you know that this is what I need to fulfill, everything else becomes a tool. The career that you have becomes a tool. The relationships that you have become channels and networks, opportunities that will lead you towards fulfilling the dream that God has placed in your heart. I don't know if I'm making sense, Sharon. I was just adding on to what Pastor Hula has said. So live a day at a time, continuously focus on whatever door that is there, however difficult it may be. And if you need to change, then ask what is the next opportunity that is available, because that is not life and death for you. All right?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to you?
Yes, actually it has made a lot of sense.
All right. And I hope this was helpful for somebody else as well here. All right. Any other question, or tukafunge saizi?
And guys, what is happening is that, you know, we just talked about VIP, and right now you're having a VIP launch session or moment with the coach himself. Take advantage of this. He enjoys doing this. Wase, tukifunga hapo utamtafuta. All right, sawa. But thank you very much, Sharon, for asking. You umeulizia wengi sana. All right. Kama ni hayo tu ni sawa. Anyone else? Snap uko sawa wewe? So Snap, I didn't tell you, Pasi one day will be an ambassador of this nation.
Yes, that's a dream I have. It's a dream I have, to be an ambassador of this nation.
areas. So mtakuwa mnapitana huko kwa gava. All right, so keep na kama uko na all right, Jesse, we have not heard from you. Kuna swali? Haya,
mimi niko sawa. I'm good, I'm okay.
Haya,
which Jesse is this, by the way? Can you unveil yourself?
Yes, chua kitambulisho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sawa sawa. Unajua mmejificha sura hata sijui ni kina nani. I think the rest I know. So good to see you. Yes.
Yeah, pleasure.
All right. Okay, Jesse uko mtaa gani wewe?
Mimi sahi niko K-South.
K-South.
Yes, sahi.
Kabisa.
Right,
that's good. Anyway, guys, asanteni sana for coming, for tuning in, for waiting for launch sessions. But see, we need to have these launch sessions. From now on, we have launch sessions with the coach. All right? Yeah, hapo ndio tutakuwa tunauliza maswali sasa. And this is for free, guys. Sawa. Out of this place, you will pay so much. So count it as an advantage you're having. Uko mbele ya wase wengine na mbali sana. But yo, we love you so much. That is why we want to do this. Ama aje Pastor Hula na Pastor Nduati.
Yaani poa, naona Brian ako na swali.
Brian.
Naona mkono Brian.
Pastor Zeph.
Yes.
What if you have the vision, you have the intention, but you do not have the pathway? What can you do?
Wow. Pastor Nduati. Ebu jaribu hiyo. kabla niongezee.
Okay, I think for me having the vision and the intentionality is already a good thing in terms of when you're intentional. It's asking questions like, okay, I have a dream. Who has succeeded in that same area? Who is walking that path? Who is walking the talk? Who is already on that pathway? And what for me, what I have done is being intentional with people who can help me in aligning to the pathway. So the pathway actually becomes clearer through the eyes of other people who you have intentionally attached yourself to. So that for me, like I think Pastor Zeph is one of those who is very a key person in my life. He's helped me. He's been very intentional with bringing out what he sees in me. And so when I attach myself to him, then he's able to help me get to that pathway. And he used the example of the entrepreneurship class that he went through. And he has helped me to go through the same class that has shaped the vision that I have, the dream that I have. And now I am more intentional because through the class, I can actually see the pathway. I know the pathway already. So, and then in the same class, you have people who speak into your dream. So they help you shape the roadway to your pathway. So I think it's being intentional for me and for us in surrounding yourself with people who are going the same direction. I don't know whether that helps.
That's very good, Pastor Alex. Because when you are intentional, you will actually come up with plans, with a pathway. When you're intentional in who you relate to, as he has said, when you're intentional in what you do every day, that gives you the opportunity to create plans. Actually, the two are very aligned in terms of intentionality and a pathway. You can't just be intentional and not have a pathway, because intentionality leads you to create some baby steps in terms of what is the next step. How do I move on from where I am now? Every day you ask yourself, how can I move from where I was yesterday towards what I want? Okay. And one of the things that we'll be dealing with next week is about courage, because many times our souls are wounded, and we'll talk a lot about that next week. And we said intentionality comes from the soul, okay, where your will is strengthened to make the right choices, but also your emotions follow what you feel about, your emotions follow what you have intended, okay? And so the soul is a seat of emotions and will, okay? So sometimes what happens in our lives is that as a result of experiences we have gone through, they create wounds in our lives. And when those wounds are created, we have a sense of fear in moving forward. We are unable to make the next step because of the wounds we received. If you have gone in, if you made a risk as a man, Brian, to katia someone, a lady, and then she says no, or she says yes, and then after a few days she says no, you'll remain a wounded person, okay? You had the right intention, and you made the right step, you made a pathway, ukakatia, lakini baadaye akasema no. It leaves you wounded. So what will that stop you from katiaring the next girl that you see that is beautiful? Sometimes it can. For many people, unaona labda huyu atanikataa kama ule mwingine alinikataa. All right? So that's one of the things that I usually deal with even in a coaching session. How do you deal with the wounds that you have received from your childhood when you made certain risks in your life and things didn't go the way you wanted them to go? And so how do you overcome that? How do you find healing in order to be healthy enough to take the next risk? Because life is about taking risks. You can't succeed without taking a risk, okay? So in terms of relationships, in terms of career, in terms of spirituality, you must try out new ways of worship, of seeking God, of hearing God. There has to be risk. It's a risky place. And what we call in spiritual terms about risk is faith, all right? So stepping into the unknown, that's risky, okay? So many of us do not step into the unknown because we have been wounded as a result of the experiences we have gone through. So we have intentions, and we also create plans, but we are unable to step into the plans to accomplish them. Then that needs you to find healing. It needs you to find strength from people around you, like Pastor Alex has said, coaches, mentors, peers that will help you to make the next faith step or risk step. Does that make sense, Brian?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Okay, we have to end here. Our formal session has been ending. We moved it back to 3:30 so that we end at 4:30, and then we'll have a launch session between 4:30 and 5. And so I'd like us to end here. Hype Dante, how do you want to close?
Hours. A big thank you to everyone who is here, and especially the team of Pastor Hula, Pastor Nduati, yourself, and Dome. You can just wave.
Can we remain and do some debrief?
Yes, yes. So the rest, asanteni sana. I will say again, we are doing this not because money has been poured. No, it is because we love you, all right? And we don't want you to get lost. We have a dream of a generation that has direction. Kwaherini sana. We would like to get there pamoja na nyinyi. So you can live at your own pleasure, and I'm a pressure too. All right.
Kwenda kuwapatia soprano.